This is The Empress of Elsewhere, a novel by Theresa Nelson. First time I ever laid eyes on the Empress, she was skittering out on the south gate of the Morin mansion with her crown on a crooked and her tail in the air. I can see it all just as clear as a Kodak, whether I want to or not. Reason is, second worst day of my life. I was out in the side yard when the whole mess started, trying to get old Ranger buried before the stink set in. My nose running. My best friend had just moved away to Phoenix, Arizona, and my dog was dead as a hammer. And it wasn't even noon. Jim Jr., Mary Al, Mama had just finished hollering out the kitchen window. Y'all come in here soon's you're done with that old dog, and I'll pour you some lemonade. The sun's gonna lay you flat. Yes, ma'am, I muttered. I shoveled another clod of rock-hard dirt and threw it on the grave. Poor old Ranger. Must have been the heat that got to him, all right. East Texas sun could lay out an elephant on a day like this, right slap in the middle of June. Never mind a bony, broken-down bird dog. It was Mary Al who found him. She'd run outside to watch the show next door, where Danny Brofley and his family were pulling out the driveway in a crammed-up U-Haul, honking and hollering and waving goodbye. I was under my covers at the time, stopping my ears with both hands. But I could hear it all. Not 5 minutes later, she was back in, bawling out lungs. "Ranger's dead," she blubbered, rooting under the bedspread and pulling my arm. "There's goo in his eyes and ants crawling out." "No, there's not," I said and shook her off. I hated her telling such a fib, but Ranger was there all right, drugged up, stiff, and staring a pea-sized patch of a shade under the Chinese tallow tree. Flies already circling. Mama said I better bury him quick before the neighbors start complaining. I was pretty mad and almost said maybe Ranger wouldn't have died if she'd have let him inside where he could be cool like everyone else's dog. But then my throat closed up and I never said a word. Which is probably just as well. Now that I come to think of it, Mama don't broke to that kind of sass. Anywho, there I was, sweating like a mule and throwing down dirt clods and on the best dog that ever was and ever will be. And there was Mary Al, standing there watching with her nose running too, and her eyes were all watery and red. Well, shoot, she wasn't but 7. Right there, pure hell broke loose. It happened so fast, I didn't even have time to be surprised. 1 minute I'm bending over Ranger's grave with a shovel and full of clay. The next minute, I'm knocked flat on my face by a pack of wild-eyed girls screaming and hollering, chasing some crazy little blur of goldy brown fur and silver spangles that darting through the street of Gilbert Street. Cars honked, brakes squealed, drivers shook their fists. "Hey!" I yelled, spitting out balls of dirt and picking myself up. "What do you all think you're doing? Get it! Don't let it get away!" The banshee woman wailed all together, pointing and screaming at and pushing me along. "Get what? And what is it? One of those skypey, yipey dogs?" I never thought much of the ratty-looking breed myself, but I figured I had to go along to see if I could help. Looked like the girls had the poor pommy pup scared up to half to death. Got it dressed up in a doll clothes and such fool things. No wonder it was running. "Ain't a dog," the skinny girl panted, just as whatever it was went leaping over the cyclone fence between our place and the park next door. I followed, made a grab, but my fingers closed around air, and before I was close enough to get another look, the critter scrambled up the nearest live oak tree and disappeared in a mess of chambo green leaves. "So what is it, a squirrel?" I asked best I could over all the shrieking. "Shoot, you can't keep a squirrel for a pet. You'll have to just leave it and ow!" I yelled as hard as a hard green acorn with one of them pointy tips hit me smack between the eyes. "What kind of squirrel is that?" "It's not a squirrel, it's a monkey," sobbed another girl, short kid with big shoes and fat red hair, who looked like she was about to pass out. "It belongs to old Lady Morin's granddaughter, and she'll kill us when she finds out." "Finds out what?" I asked, dodging another green missile. "That we let the stupid monkey go." "Ow!" said the skinny girl. "Ow, stupid little ow!" "Quit whining, Francine. It was you who let it out. Don't try to blame us." "Well, it was your idea to put it in a dress." "Was not. Was too. Hold on a minute, I shouted. Would somebody please tell me what's going on? The skinny girl, Francine, rolled her eyes. We already told you. We were over at Ms. Morrison's to meet a grandkid, and over where? I interrupted, not believing my ears. Over there, said Francine. She pointed across the street to the Morrison mansion, the biggest, oldest, richest place in town. Mary Al about fainted. Mrs. Million Dillions? It was an old family joke. But I felt my face firing up. No way, I said quick as I could before anyone had a chance to giggle. Nobody goes there. Francine just shrugged. Well, we did. Our mothers made us. But that's the last time. That kid's a real pill, and she has a stupid monkey. And it bit me, the fat-haired girl sniffled. The monkey bit you? I asked. No, the kid did, the girls and the everybody started talking at once. So Miss Morrison locked her in a room. The monkey? No, the kid. You should have heard her cussing. The old lady? No, the kid. But then she got loose. The kid? No, the monkey. And we'll never catch her now. Ow! Ow! The acorn missiles were raining on all of us again, while the four girls screeched and ran 8 different ways at once. Just forget it, Francine yelled. The monkey's too mean to mess with. I'm calling my mama to take her home. Me too, cried the 2 others. Wait for me, sobbed the fat-haired girl. And with that, they went tearing up across the park toward the payphones at Chubby Fried Chicken. End of chapter 1.